Battle control initialized.
What's up, guys? It's Black and back to some more Combined Arms content. In this top left, you know him, you love him, you're going to see him a lot on this channel. It is Hod playing as Iraq in a salmon, like pinkish color. I'm not sure if that's his normal color. I don't feel like it is, but I feel like I've also seen it in it a few times. But hey, it is what it is. His opponent is going to be Kato playing as Shadow in his baby blue colors. So this is some very pastel Easter games, even though it is past Easter. We are on Onyx. We've seen this map a lot. Double mine start, single mine in the back. Lots of oil decks here. Lots of double mine expansions as well. And these are going to be some interesting games. So Nod Soviets are very not mismatched, but they have very different styles. Soviets just want to crush through everything, where Nod wants to do that hit and ras, And then towards the late game, Nod kind of switches and they become Soviets, where they just want to burst through you with their cyborgs and everything. Whereas Soviets just I don't feel like Soviets ever really change. Maybe a little bit when if they go for Tesla tech, then they're less rush through and more just hide around, which is more Nod. So it's a kind of weird flip flop there. What do we got going on here? Looks like Hod just getting out a nice line here. He does have two dogs out looking for this back line over there, but it is already caught by Kato. Kato is pumping out a bunch of infantry here. I imagine we're going to see double ref from both these players, but no. Kato is going for a war factory first, which is kind of crazy. Hod is definitely going double ref. He's finally going to get an engineer out into the top. Both these players a little bit apprehensive about going for an engineer in the middle. I feel like Hod should be a little bit more comfortable with that with the dogs, since he's going to have that superior vision. And as soon as he decides to move in just a little bit more with this dog, he's going to see a lot. Does see not a whole lot going on here. He does see the airstrip coming out. That is nice. And he does see a huge blob of infantry right there. So this is actually some great scouting from Soviets, and definitely one of their super good strengths in the early game. So he's going to be maybe expecting bikes. I'm sure Kato is... Oh, he's going for light tank, but Hod is building that chemical tower. Are dogs immune to Tiberium? That is a good question, and it looks like they are. Which is, nope, they are not. It just took a little bit longer than I was expecting. But with that superior vision, that dog is going to get out of there. Nope, it might die on Tiberium. That is unfortunate. Does not get the Viceroy as well. Probably wonder if we can convince Dark to make a, I guess maybe it's not Dark, it's the Ink. Maybe get a dog dying by Tiberium animation. Because that is not something you see in Red Alert. First light tank out now, and I mean, that's a really nice early light tank on one harvester, but is he going to be broke? I don't know how he is still having any sort of money right now, and finally it's going to run out. But I mean, this would be really good if Hod had gone for a bunch of infantry, but as of now he really hasn't. There's a few rockets in here too, so I do like this. He's actually going to go for an early pressure. You can't really place too well with a chemical tower here. There's a BTR out, so this might work for Kato, or it might be disastrous, because this eco is going to be in shambles after this. This is definitely an early rush, but I'm kind of digging it though. Just all depends on the angle and what he gets. He cannot go too far into the base though, because that chemical tower will absolutely shred this army. There is only 2 rockets and a light tank there. That is not enough. Focus on the kennel. I think that is a mistake here. And he needs to target fire out that rocket soldier, but that chemical tower does get placed down, and Kato is going to get forced back. And with 2 BTRs and only 1 rocket left, no, there's 2, but I just don't think it's enough. There's 1 rocket for Pod, and there it goes. BTR is going to have a nice field down here. No rockets left, and that is going to be a terrible turn of events. I think had he gone up here, but where did this come from? There's a Viceroy on the Tiberium, and it's probably not going to get that ref, but it's doing a lot of damage around. That heavy tank actually doing quite a number to that Viceroy. Resistance started out, well, Kato is up to 4 harvesters, which isn't bad, and he has kept Hod down to 3 harvesters. Hod already has an expansion out, and I imagine that Kato's army is pretty much non-existent, 600 to 7,000. Yeah, that's not looking good for him. I think that attack just did not go well. You can see that reflected in the destroyed loss there. I think had he goes over the Tiberium and just camps for a harvester, that could be really good. I mean, you're not really looking to kill a harvester right there. That'd be probably a misplay on Pod's part, but forcing that harvester to either long distance mine over here or get stuck over here, and you keep poking at it. These aren't going to heal like they do in RA 50% when they're not in combat, so that could just really slow them down, really give you that time to eco up like Kato did, and then that probably keep Pod's army down a little bit. But yeah, that's it's kind of a tough play. Maybe not the best bat for it. I probably want something where at the same time though, it is a nice juicy double minefield, and it is hard to place defense there, so maybe not a bad choice for it. just didn't work out for him in this game. Just cool down for Hod. Low power for now, but he's got that power plant up. I'm sure it'll be good as soon as he wants to. Yep, he can power it up. I think they're only... I can't remember how much testicles are in kind of arms. I think they're 100. They might be 75 like they are in RA. Another engineer out here, and I do like that he's claiming this one. That testicle will be able to easily protect that unless the engineer gets spotted by these light tanks, which of course it's going to. It's so close enough that he gets spotted. Goodbye, engineer. You tried. You tried. What do we got going on now? Kato's kind of recovered on army value. I mean, it's pretty close. It was a lot worse than this. But I think Hod knows that he's in the lead and he's just kind of content to play a more passive game. Nothing wrong with that. This is like a best of 3 series, so hopefully we get 3 games out of this. Still things out here for tier 2 for Kato. But I think that Hod is in a really great position here. There's just not enough rockets. These light tanks are not going to survive too much. BTRs are out here, which is nice too, but they're kind of floating in the army. I'd rather see them, like, you know, maybe hunting down the stealth tank, which is about to maybe fire on that ore truck. No, not quite. Apache out here for Kato as well, which, okay, maybe that's the reason he hit the BTRs around, because this Apache is not going to be able to do much with those BTRs embedded into your army. Another stealth tank out here for Kato, and I mean, he's probably going to try to poke on this harvester here. Not a bad idea. Love to see him poke up here too, or maybe just on the outskirts over there. Oh, that chemical tower does have a good range on that. Now, there is another engineer here, and I just managed to catch it going in. Looks like maybe a second engineer already died for that rifle. But as it stands, the old darks seem to be 1 apiece for now, which is not really what you see on this map, to be honest. But Kato finally can expand here. After going to tier 3, that might be a mistake. He's going to be, once again, eco-starved, but at the same time, you know, Hod's just kind of letting him do that. V2 coming out too. That would be actually phenomenal if he can keep that alive with the BTRs. And here it goes. He's going to poke in a little bit with these heavy tanks, just kind of run down those light tanks. Commando has sounded itself, so that might change Hod's plans a little bit. He's got Rat Troopers mixed into his army as well, which is nice. V2 type hitting commando would be pretty intense. I don't think you see that in command arms as much as you do in like RA and everything. He's up to tier 2, and I imagine he is building a Yak, or is he building a Hind? I cannot see. But here we go. We're gonna have a big engagement right here. I'm not sure what that was going down. Looks like the stealth tanks are going in, and they are gonna get a harvester and get out of there. That's nice. So that's gonna help out a little bit. Oh, that's gonna be a great V2 shot. But the commando is there. He's got a target fire. He's got the Rat Troopers. He can do it. Gets it with the Hind, and then Kato is in full retreat with those Rat Troopers and plenty of armor. I think this is about end for Kato. He is not going to last very long through this. It's pretty close to, you know, a 66% trade ratio there. 10 to 15. But I mean, this army is still looking pretty monstrous. Not a whole lot went down there for Hod, to be honest, and he can just control this middle, which is super important on this map. Although being down 1 harvester is, you know, somewhat of an issue. It's like he's building a bunch of dogs just for that stealth detection, because those sinks are coming back. Probably not going to get this harvester again, but again, there is 5 sinks, so maybe. Ooh, Hod is also expanded into the corner with another testicle here. I think this harvester will be pretty well protected. I think the stealth radius on dogs is like really only the vision radius, so it's not that much. Was that the commando going down again? It was not, it was something else. He's going to try to go in for here, but hello. One of those sinks instantly going down. This harvester probably going to die, but I think he's going to pay for it with another sink. Still probably worth it in the end. At the same time, he has rotated up here. Kato looks like he's going to lose his own harvester. Oh, it might just get away, but he's going to be in dire straits. Oh, those were terror dogs killing those sinks. That's nice. Guess there's a little bit harder to see for me, but yes, those are the terror dogs. So basically, just become a baneling mini demo truck. Commando a little too far forward that time. Gets sniped by the Rat Troopers. And once again, Kato is on full retreat there. He is up to tier 4, so cyborgs could be coming out soon. I just don't think he's going to have the time to actually get him up. There goes the MCV, and there goes the GG. So that is Hod taking game 1, and we'll be back with game 2.
Battle control initialized.
Alright, we are back here for game 2. Looks like Kato has Black Hand this time, and Hod has randomed into Iraq again. I did not check to see if he went any Soviets last time, but I'm pretty sure he always plays Soviets. So that would crack there. We are on Toxicity. This is a ping-pong map. Interesting enough, this map's kind of weird. I feel like it kind of produces really good games. The games are definitely atypical. you have a pretty big starting double mine here and a smaller single mine on the back. And then this trees are kind of weirdly, it's like maybe like 1.5 there because they're up against the cliffs. Then you have another double mine here, and a single mine in the middle, and a single mine in the middle. 2 old derricks in the back corner, and then this one in the middle. So it's a kind of really debate on where you want to go on this map. Looks like Kato is going to play a little bit more safer, grab his backline oil first, whereas Ha's going to be more aggressive and go for that middle line oil derrick. No dog out for him just yet. Both these players are going to be basically on time for that ref. And Kato with a barrack seal here, that is an interesting move. So definitely think we're going to see some sort of early harass again. Maybe bikes this time, maybe another light tank, but he's building a much smaller infantry force. So I imagine it's going to be bike and buggy. Once again, that dog is coming out. It was a little bit delayed, wanted to get that ref out first. Not a bad idea at all. It's going to let him know that yes, I can absolutely take this. And I can do this safely without the barrel. I don't think they can get around the barrels, unfortunately, though. So, yeah, he's going to have to kill at least one side. Oh, that kills so much of his old derrick, but that's okay. He's going to get it for free. This engineer also not going to run into anything. Some flamethrowers probably could have got there in time. That'd be a pretty big brain move. Now he's going to go back in and scout. He might see that there's no barracks here. He's going to see that there's infantry, so he's going to assume there's barracks. But, I mean, if he happens to see that there is no barracks, can maybe think there's a cell coming, but those rifles perfectly positioned, gets that dog. We do see a buggy and a light tank coming out, so this is an interesting combination. I mean, it's good. If you can get like 2 light tanks and 2 buggies, that can be really hard for Hod to deal with, especially this early in the game, just because buggies snipe out the rockets, the tanks work on the harvesters, and just slows you down that way. Hod, of course, went double ref, and I imagine Kato is basically doing like a War Factory rush. He's going to have a double ref here. Maybe even place a through one up here in just a minute here after he gets some power. You can see that he's going to have a light tank and a buggy out minimum. And what is this being built? Is it another buggy? It is another buggy. So he's going to have 3 buggies by the time that this War Factory is out for Hod, which is honestly quite like a big deal. Oh, he could get the engineer. I don't think he quite sees it just yet though. But I think Kato is going to be in a good position here. I like that he's going to just burn down this oil derrick to the light tank. However, it is going to reveal that he has gone for some mass vehicle play. Which, I mean, double ref pretty safe against that. And Ha's just going to sit in his base regardless. But he's going to lose at least this oil derrick. He could easily lose this oil derrick as well. Not much you can do. And there's 4 buggies out. So, I mean, that's a lot of infantry to deal with. Same time, though, with this light tank, if it's in good position, can deal with it. Kato's going to go in. He's going to take a lot of damage there on those buggies. Needs to get that light tank in front. Yeah, if he can force Hod to move these infantry at the same time, that'll be really good. Is this going to be a rocket coming out? No. Yes, it is. Ref sold up there too, which is interesting. Needs to get the buggies in. Needs to keep them on the move. Oh, that chemical tower is actually in a great position right here. Might get some friendly fire damage done. Does kill the light tank. As it stands, about traded even there. Maybe forcing the extra chemical tower out from Hod is pretty good. These 3 buggies are still alive, so they can still poke and poke. Maybe get a few more rockets, that could be really good. Engineer in that PTR, probably going to go up here to the top. There is a single rifle. What is Kato going on back there? Double airstrip onto 4 ref right now, so very high vehicle play. Some bike buggy, not super great on this map. Just again, you can see that Hod has a fenced off his side. Kind of hard to harass on that, but you know, after this opening base, it does open up a little bit. So bike buggy could be pretty good, but I feel like bike buggy and light tank would be that much better. One of these buggies going down. Looks like both these buggies are going to go down. Almost gets that last rifle, but you know, 18-21, still not a bad trade. You know, it's kept Hod pretty much in the dark this entire time. Have to see if this BTR actually gets away with the engineer cap. There is 2 bikes around there, 3 bikes coming in. Probably going to get away with the engineer cap. Not much that Kato can really do about it, especially when he is investing into bikes. This Tesla is actually in a very poorly placed position now. As a result of that, these bikes might have some more success than it otherwise would if this Tesla was like, say, here, or maybe like right here, which could probably cut off anything anyways. Hod has expanded to the correct side, I think. Going to the top is definitely a mistake here. And he's going to get a good scout on here, as Kato is moving away the majority of his army. He's going to see that Kato is also tier 2 and still in his base, which is nice. I think this BTR probably going to go down. It might take this bike with it though. He's lucky. Unfortunately, Don't think he is that lucky. Did get the engineer cap with that, which happened. There's 4 bikes and a light tank coming over, so there's going to be some very big harass coming. That BTR eventually going down. Would love to see some buggies mixed into this, just deal with some of the rockets. Yeah, or the rad troopers. Rad troopers would be pretty devastating against this too, but Hod is kind of out of position for this. If Kato goes in relatively soon, especially if one of these harvesters are just coming back, it can be really good. He's pumping a lot of stuff up here. Here he goes. Staying out of the testicle range for now, which is great. Yeah, this first harvester stood no chance. He's just going to back out. That's not a bad idea at all. Hod has basically ignored it for now. He's going to have a testicle on here, so he's going to be okay. There's still a little bit of window on that bottom for him to attack. And 3 light tanks rolling into the middle. I mean, this, if they go deep right now, they could actually honestly just kill this war factor, which would be pretty good. A bunch of grenadiers out there for Hod, which is kind of weird. Is that a Terror Dog? It is a Terror Dog, so once again, Terror Dog's upgrade seems to be something new. And unfortunately, yeah, Kato doesn't really want to deal with this. Doesn't have any anti-armor, or anti-infrared rather. 2 heavy flank tanks coming in would help, but there's just a lot of anti-armor for Hod there. Kato is finally expanding. He expanded to the bottom, which again, I don't like. These trees are just not that great. But it is going to like force this game into a probably shorter game. Terror Dog's up here preventing any more snipes, which is nice. I do like that you can just kind of leave them there. It's a good anti-harass unit, I suppose, but maybe just mix it a buggy or something like that with them, and you can probably deal with them before they explode. Would have to experiment with that myself. Army values are looking pretty similar. Destroy loss looking actually better for Kato, so that's nice. But he is just all anti-armor, with very few anti-flame tanks, weaponry. I just don't know if this is going to be enough. He needs to expand again, honestly. He's going to run out of income relatively quickly, especially once these harvesters transfer over. One more of these could probably come down after that load. So now he's starting to pump out some more heavy flame tanks, which would be good. You know, if they can get on top of that, that'll be great. Hod has expanded again, and he's up to tier 2 and near field out and second war factory, so the vehicle advantage that Kato has enjoyed is going to be short-lived for a little while. You can see that army value is actually kind of exploding for Hod right there. Halo coming out, that's what the grenadiers are for. That could be brutal. I mean, the bikes could get onto that Halo if they see it, but chances are this is going to come for the top and get at least one of these airstrips, so that'll be very annoying for Kato to deal with, especially being now one airstrip. It's up to tier 3 as well, so we're probably going to see some sort of transition there. Bike's really trying to die for this harvester, and I think they're going to get it since that testicle has a really long reload time. One of those bikes does live, but still probably worth it. That's another harvester down for Hod. And he's going to go ahead and kill that Olderic. I don't think Hod is going to be able to respond to that anytime soon. His Halo is working its way around the top of his map just as the MCV gets there. Fortunately, I don't think the MCV is going to see it, but I don't know. It'll be very lucky. I think that was a perfect spy plane on the bottom too, so Hod sees that he is there, and he's moving to the center with his MCV now. Yep, this dog is definitely going to get there before that. Oh, but so close. That one random rifle almost got it. Still definitely worth it. Halo just hiding in the corner for now. Big army coming in here too, right as Odd wants to move away. Kato's going to actually probably take a decent engagement here as a result. I think those have the blue flame upgrade as well. I probably could check, but oh yeah, so those heavy flame tanks do get on top of the infantry and they just burn everything down. That is nice, and I mean they do decent damage to heavy armor as well, but there is more than enough here for him to push through. Just heavy tanks and a few infantry left. More coming in, and there goes one of those airstrips. Unfortunately I missed it because this attack was much more entertaining to me. Oh, build radius is just there for the testicle. That's actually probably going to save some of this. Looks like the ref is going to go down and Kato is going to recall the retreat. Oh, paradrop coming in here as well. Kato should be able to deal with this. He's got just enough there. Probably shouldn't lose the harvester. But this ref could be very close. I think barely just inches saves it. I think had he not targeted that harvester first, he's trying to get the Halo to fall on it, but unfortunately there is no anti-air there. So I think Kato is going to be okay. Ooh, his armor value has dropped once again. So I don't know about that. I mean, Kato's not in a bad position. He's got both of his expansions up here, which I like. And Hod is more in the center, which is nice. I think that Mig wasting its ammo on rifle is unfortunate. I think Hod is just playing a really strong defensive game right now, and Kato is just struggling to break through with Nod. Maybe that's a little bit of this map, but I don't know. He's not out of this fight yet. I think he's got a way back into this game for sure. Heavy tank harassed down here. Probably gonna get a harvester, but one of these harvesters should probably get pulled off. You know, you're just not producing enough with these trees. There's some Terror Dogs here. I'm not sure who wins, Terror Dog or a heavy flame tank. I imagine the Terror Dog will explode first, but not entirely sure. Good radar scan there by Kato too. Oh, and these heavy flame tanks did get spotted on the bottom. I guess we'll get a chance to see who wins, but it looks like they were on a target fire. But both those MiGs and the Terror Dogs are able to kill that. Tank harass going down here. See how quickly Kato wants to respawn. Looks like he's setting up for an attack at the top as well. Got some bikes coming in, so this harvester should be okay. Something died somewhere, but I'm not sure where. And it looks like he has his tier 3 upgrade. He did have Black Flame, and he's gone into Deceit, so this is something we haven't really seen a lot. Heavy stealth tank upgrade, so you get the stealth tanks from Red Alert, or not Red Alert, Renegade, which is really nice. Infiltrator Squad, stealth harvester upgrade, and cyber speed upgrade, so once he gets that stealth harvester upgrade, that's actually really nice. It looks like this attack did not go very well up here. Pod was more than able to deal with it. He's got tier 3 out as well. Did pull the harvesters off the line for a minute there, but okay. And there is Cybers coming out, so this is when Nod starts to get really scary. This is really hard for Soviets to deal with. These don't have a whole lot of infantry AoE. I feel like they're more just focused on one thing. V2s, V3s, that type of stuff, sure. I feel like the bike's just trying to poke over here. More than enough MiGs to deal with it, and that is going to reveal that he has flank tanks coming in, but both those MiGs use a lot of their ammo, and another attack up here is going to get the ref. And there is a lot of heavy tanks for Cop to deal with. I don't think he wants to deal with that at all. There is a heavy stealth tank in the mix there as well, but yeah, he's a little bit light on anti-armor right now. Got some Cyber Reapers coming in. I guess now they're just Cyber Baka soldiers. Inferno Bomb, just a little premature there. I completely missed it. Missed the majority of that tank on the back flank as well. There's a lot going on with this game suddenly. Heavy tank's going to go down. The little flank over here, step flank as well. I'm not sure who can beat this. I feel like Kato has a little bit disadvantage here. There's quite a big army for Hod. Stealth tank not great at tanking, but they are heavy armor, which is nice. We got some enlightenment coming in too. That'll actually be really good against these heavy tanks. And a heavy tank in the back line doing pretty good. Tries to throw EMP, but it misses. This little detachment sitting right there. Ooh, this harvester, I think it got pushed away right there, so that's nice. Looks coming in, probably harvester hunting. Probably can get one of these, I think. Or they're gonna focus on that. Nope, they're gonna go down here. And these two players just sitting on the range of each other, kind of poking a little bit. But the longer that happens, I think the worse it gets for Pod. Another heavy tank going down, and it's gonna be pretty hard for him. There's a lot of cybergs. Boars will make a big difference there. That will be nice, but Kato is keeping up the pressure, forces the MCV to move out, which is nice. I think Pod's just trying to stall for Boars to get there, but Kato, at just the perfect timing, runs his forces back, which is nice. Not sure what happened to that heavy tank. It looks like it got killed off. And this little detachment still trying to poke right there. Probably should have killed this old deck. I thought he was going to do it earlier, but maybe Hod recaptured it and I don't remember. I'm not sure what that was, but that atomic bomb going off. Nice little support power there, killing something. I think this was before they made it so that it doesn't one-shot a ref, so that might have been a ref that got one shot there. Another paradrop coming in here, and there's not a whole lot for Kato to deal with this. He's got one heavy flame tank, or stealth tank, which is not what he wants there. His two rifles are not going to be enough. He's probably going to lose another power plant, another ref, might even lose this ore factory. And where did this MSV come from Hod? Why is it in the middle of his base? What is happening with this game? Apaches are being able to clean that up. But Hod is rotating the majority of his army over. Suddenly we're going to have a base push race here. Which is kind of crazy. Random heavy tank losing to 2 heavy flame tanks and a steel tank. Kato's tier 3 is in a little bit of trouble right here. I think his cluster missile is ready. It is ready, so he probably needs to launch it pretty soon. But Hod is running his MCV away again. I feel like we've seen this before from him. But I think we're going to have a pretty big clash here. Oh, tier 3 goes down before he uses the cluster missile. That is unfortunate. But I think he's actually in a prime position to take this engagement. There is only 2 Tesla tracks out, and that's just not the right combination for this. Although Hod is in some interesting straits. Got a heavy tank back there. Where is Boris? I'm not sure if Boris is still alive or not. Nope, he is getting trained again, and I think as a result... Oh, force field goes off. That's nice, but yeah, I don't think Hod can hold this, unfortunately. I feel like Kato is just going to be able to push through. This is such an interesting combination. Heavy tanks, heavy stealth tanks tanking for a bunch of cyborgs. Oh, and those Apaches getting 1 Tesla track. Probably getting another one. That Mammoth tank, not the right move here. Those cyborg elites are going to eat it up, and those enlightened Boris does come back out. Oh, we have some Hero of the Union stuff going on right here. Not sure what they got, but those are going to be absolutely brutal to deal with. Let's see how quickly they drop that power plant. Might put him low power after the next one goes down. So random ref there. Where is Boris? Boris is running in from the top, but hello Apache, kills him. That is nice. That's probably going to be it for Pod. I don't think he can survive this much longer. He's running away with his feet still. I think this atomic reactor is like perfectly randomly placed that it's not going to get saw. Oh, and the Cyber Temple Prime was up here as well, so he's back down to just regular infantry. So that's one of those things they got. Heavy tank was vetted up there, probably killed a few harvesters. I think Kato is still in prime position here. Oh, infantry is trying to go in and infiltrate, unfortunately, right into range of a Pterodog and some chemical towers. The only thing that Kato has to worry about is MC that's lost in the sauce. That Halo and those Heroes of the Union eventually getting cleaned up by those Apaches. 30,000 to 12,000, 1,400 now that Force is back out, but yeah, it's looking a little bit rough for Pod. His destroy loss ratio is not that great as well, but you know, he can survive that a little bit. I hear... Oh, okay, I was like, I hear bikes shooting somewhere. They're doing the ref. Infiltrator maybe would be it. I don't think they can still patch though. I think it's only Soviets, and there's a bunch of Pterodogs just hunting for random things. I don't think it's going to go out so well. Boris is trying his best to stay in the back line, which is good. But I think this is going to be the next big engagement right here. As long as Boris goes down early, I think Kato will be fine. It's just not the right combination. Here we go. We're going to have it in, but Boris is a little bit too close to the front there. And Kato does get him. Sacrifices all of his Apaches for it, but I think that was worth it. As that means that Pod just has basically no armor left. Desolator coming out. He's going to try to irradiate the ground, but Kato can just kind of ignore it. And there is GG from Pod. So that was a very interesting game from Kato. It looked a little bleak for him at some points there, but he was in control for the majority of that game. So that is 1-1. We'll be back for game 3.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Right, we are back here for game 3. Kato this time, once again, having Black Hand. Hod picking Russia from any Soviet. So we are on Titan VIP, so it makes sense this is the finale for this map. This is a classic mega tank map. 2 mines start here, single mine here, big double mine expansion with a little bit of like a sneaky harass vector. 3 mine corner expansion, which you don't see too much, and a single mine expansion here. Only 3 old Erics on this one. Then you do have the hospitals in the corner, and of course Britannia that I love to kill on this map just for the free bread and save money. Got Dog coming out early this time, and some Grenadiers. Ooh. So Hod mixing it up just a little bit. Double Dog hitting action and Grenadiers, so this is pretty expensive. He's definitely going to be doing a double ref build. But Kato on the other hand, he's just going for an Engineer for now. Maybe doing a War Factory first. That could be pretty brutal if this attack hits at the right time. Yeah, 5 Grenadiers and a Dog coming out, and a Dog just to probably stir up his base. Build an Engineer to get into his old deck as well. What is Kato doing? Yes, Kato is going for a War Factor first, so this could hit at a nasty timing depending on when exactly these Grenadiers get here. The power plant is in an interesting spot. I feel like it's typically right here, so that might help out. At the same time, there is going to be that dog scout with. Oh, he is like sixth sensing this and sending a rifle over, but I think it might be a little bit late. These Grenadiers are going to get past him unless they like stop there and get forgotten about, which is totally possible. We will have to see. Airstrip has got 10 seconds left, and I think it's like 12 seconds for a buggy, something like that, so I'm not sure if it's going to work. I think the Grenadiers are going to get by. This could be a very quick game 3. Yes, they are going to bypass that. This dog fortunately did not see him. One of barely missing. And this is going to be brutal for Kato. He's got one rifle coming out now, but this is definitely going to lose the power plant. Dog goes down, so that is good. He's probably not going to lose the second power plant, but it's going to be pretty close. One of these Grenadiers basically being a sacrifice, and that power plant is going to go down. It did force off a third power plant from Kato, and he's building a fourth because he's still going to get it. So, yeah, he's definitely a little bit far behind. I think that attack for Hod was worth it. He's got 2 archers now to Kato's 1. Basically, going to have a war factory in just a few seconds here. So yeah, I think that all evened out. The only difference is there is still that early vehicle advantage. You know, 2 buggies could make all the difference, and Hot is building rockets, which is not ideal. Maybe if he's going to go in for a BTR drop, for that could be pretty good, but you know, he should know that there's at least 1 buggy out there. I think he saw that there was 2. So Kato might get out of this a little bit better than he ought to have. At the same time, he's still only on 1 harvester, and that is going to be rough. Finally have 2 harvesters, and he's still building vehicles, so I am not sure. And yes, he is going to do that rocket drop. These buggies are not going to see those rockets get loaded up. I've had the biggest sneeze of my life, but hopefully that'll get edited out. Ooh, and he's going straight to tier 3. Pod is not producing right now. He's moving his MSV out early. Ooh, and there is 2 bikes into this too. That could actually be really good right now. I mean, there is 2 flame towers, so it should be okay. But he is probably going to stop this MC movement. This MC is probably going to end up acting like a tank. So yeah, as soon as the bikes want to start pushing on it, this could be really good. They do a lot of damage real quick. One of those buggies going down. I don't think he's going to be able to kill that MSV, but he's going to put a lot of pressure on it. You could probably dance around these rifles for a long, long time. In fact, this MSV, it might actually die right now. That is crazy. Hod making a big misplay here. Gets the flame tower out, which is nice, but Kato with those bikes gonna be able to kill that MSV. That's gonna set Hod back for a long, long time. Gonna be 1 minute on that MSV. And there is a bunch of rifles here. Is there a defense ready? No, not yet. But this BTR is going to be able to focus on these rifles, which is nice. He's going to get 1 harvester. Too many rifles for that BTR to kill. But he is doing a lot of damage here to Hod. I mean, or Kato rather. Losing that harvester is a big deal. He's once again down to 2 harvesters with one other one just being built. So no MCV versus 1 harvester eco. Who's got the advantage there? I think the advantage goes to Hod. He's still got plenty of ore. I mean, he's only up 1 harvester right now, which is actually kind of crazy, but Kato is up to tier 2 as well. Got an Apache coming out. That Apache will be really good if he can get it out. The only thing he's got to worry about is those BTRs, and another BTR drop could be on the cards there. There's 3 bikes on the table, and I feel like Hod's probably going to want to play really defensive, because he knows that there is a lot of vehicles out for him. So I'm not sure. Hopefully this CV lasts a little bit longer than his predecessor. We'll have to see. He's like, yeah, that's probably a good spot to sit. That'll cover your bottom, and you can still kind of crawl there. Apache is out, and that will be really nice. I feel like if I'm Hod, I'm just probably skipping the heavy tanks for now and just sticking with BTRs. I feel like that's a little bit too many bikes for that BTR to deal with, but it does take 1 with him, and it's probably going to get a second one. Yes, he is going to get a second one, because Kato turned around. Might actually get a third one. He does, and he can get the buggy if he really wants to. But Kato wisely pulls that buggy away. That was a well-served BTR right there. Definitely taking care of more than it's needed to. Army values are super low considering that we're 6 minutes to this game. 8,000 versus 3,000. Looks like Kato is maybe... Nope, he's just have his power down right now, so he's not going to get that support power. That's okay. And he is building heavy flame tanks once again. Odd gonna have tier 2 out. Imagine he's placing it right there. Yes, that is probably most likely going to be a ref instantly after that, and indeed it is. So why wouldn't it be? Kato is gonna see that he is a tier 2. And with his 2 patches, gonna try to snipe the power, which is interesting. I mean, yeah, why not? He's got almost enough to do it. Had to kill the BTR. Probably would have got the power plant regardless, but that will temporarily put Pod low power, but he is totally fine. Just powered down the testicle on the bottom. Yeah, he's gonna have to sit in his base for a while. Cosmo, on the other hand, he's just now expanding. He has up to 5 harvesters, which is nice. That is more than Odd has. Odd is definitely starved. Both these players are pretty much cast starved. This has been a very low eco game. 3 Apaches out, pretty much unharmed. BTR did a little bit of number on that one. And heavy flank tanks coming down as well. Yeah, I'm not sure who has the advantage here. Maybe Kato, just because he has more mobility right now. And Kato can kind of do what he wants. I mean, he can't really harass. That's basically the one that he can't do, but he can control the map. That's really nice. Plus that eco advantage. At the same time, though, Odd has the bigger army. I feel like he might have swung down. Yeah, I think Kato with those extra Apaches has swung it. But he's a little bit safer. Oh, he's going to try to kill that ref, but unfortunately not happening. His BTR is getting on top. 1, 2, almost 3. So that is going to even things out once again. In fact, they are 150 army value apart, and now Kato is just slightly ahead. Black Hand Trooper's coming out here. Interesting, I'm not sure what he's going to go for. It looks like those bikes did get that old earlier, which is kind of important too. So at the same time, Kato really needs to transfer these harvests. He's still down a ref here. He went tier 3 before ref. That is a bold choice. I see some Shockies coming out for Pod, and I think that is a great choice against Nod's light armor, although there is some heavy armor stuff here. It's okay, I think the heavy tanks will be enough for that, plus the wall of rockets. The only thing he has to worry about is these Apaches, and as long as he keeps a few BTRs healthy and alive, he should be good. Also has Bigs, which should be able to deal with those Apaches as well. I think Kato not going for a harvester or refinery here is going to be a mistake. Still, okay, it's finally coming down. He's got the harvesters there, so maybe not that bad, but I think it is slowing his eco down pretty significantly, but these players still absolutely cash starved. Oh, and Kato's trying to think maybe a pincer attack here, but I don't think he wants to really engage into that. Migs there as well. There is 2 rockets, so could be pretty good. Should be careful not to just lose these BTRs. He really needs those for when those Apaches come in, which are waiting on the wings, but nice. He is trying to target out those rockets as well. Apache's just poking on the ref, not going to get it. I think this army is going to get cleaned up. He loses the BTR, but I mean, hey, it's fine. Didn't really need it. Everything else goes down, and that's going to be a nice. The Migs are on patrol looking for those Apaches. Oh, but there is 3 stinks. They do get the refinery with help of those Apaches from earlier. Probably not going to get that harvester, but that's fine. I think that was a heavy flame tank and 3 Black Hand Troopers up there. But I think Pod is slowly starting to get into a better position here. Recovering 1 old Derek. Stinks found that a second engineer. Parabay out for Kato, but it's not next to his helipad, unfortunately. But that makes sense since he does not have a second MC. So these tanks are going to be pretty brutal though. There is 3 harvesters for the reaping. They almost one-shot that harvester. One of them definitely going to go down and instantly getting back out. And unfortunately, Mig's not a great choice to combat that. He needs the Terror Dogs again, which I imagine are being built in just a second. Yes, they are. So once again, this Terror Dog is going to be making an appearance. Looks like he's got an infantry reduction, which I don't think I was even paying attention to the last time. There's so much to pay attention to in Combined Arms. If you haven't been doing it in a while, it can get a little daunting. Commando out as well, but there is a Hind, so it shouldn't be too terrifying. Hod is in a little bit better position here just because he has this extra ref. Although, how many harvesters does he have? Oh, nope. He has more harvesters than Kato, so. Ooh, those Migs getting very close. Sacrificing themselves to kill that laser turret. I'm not sure that was really worth it, but he wants to go for it. He wants to go for it. The Commando is standing on Tiberium. Luckily gets off. Oh, and there is, looks like something coming down for Kato. I think that's the heavy flame tank drop. Pine does get that. Oh, this This Inferno Bomb is going to be pretty good, I think. Oh, just misses. In fact, this is not very good at all. But I think Kato is in a lot of trouble here. He's got one SSM out, but there's just so much in his base right now. Tier 3 is definitely going to go down. He has Tier 4, which is nice. I think Hod needs to focus on this Tier 3 and then rotate his army away from this base, which looks like exactly what he's doing. And now if Kato wants to chase him, he should be able to turn around and face him again. Man, those cyborgs are pretty brutal. Where do we stand after this? Hod does have the better army, but Tier 4 did come out, and that is a problem. Cyborgs are going to be a huge annoyance for him. Same time, though, he has expanded in the corner. That's kind of locked Kato out. Kato also suffered a huge economic problem there, losing the refs, losing a few harvesters as well. This heavy tank is just pulling the army out of position as well, but does go down to the SSM launcher, which is unfortunate there. Where do we stand now? 3 MiGs, 1 pre-wounded, just a lot of shock troopers. It makes sense, shock troopers are pretty good against cyborgs, but probably wants them to get to Tesla troopers instead. That upgrade will be pretty good. Using the paradrop defensively, you don't see that too often, but it kind of makes sense. But if he had known, saved it for until these MiGs, he could easily clean up these harvesters. But he can do that with the MiGs as well. So once again, Kato down to 4 harvesters, down to 3 harvesters. And those MiGs are out of ammo. Gonna get caught by the stealth tank. 1 down. Second MiG gonna get away. That's okay. Just needs to fix this harvester over here, and he's gonna be in a really good position. Spending so much on jockeys, building nothing but jockeys. I mean, it's not a bad idea at all. Pretty much shut down all light armor, cyborgs, infantry as well. Oh, Yak over here, I'm not sure what it was doing, but a random rifle finding that stealth tank is pretty good, and I don't think stealth tanks can crush, so it's just slowly getting its armor chipped away at. Oh, parabombs and a Yak combination are, I guess, enough to kill a refinery. That is a good to know strategy. I think Kato is in a little bit of trouble now. He's just continuously getting his eco harassed. Hod has been pretty much untouched. Army value is close to 2 to 1. I think the economy is really the situation. I hear a dog go off somewhere, but I'm not sure where it was. No, there's a lot of anti-air there. He's going straight for the SSM launcher. Probably not the best move there. Oh, and those tanks gonna catch both those MiGs skin, but once the shockeys get in range, I don't think there's anything that Kato can do about this. They're just gonna get electrocuted. SSM will be nice if he can get some good hits, gets one decent one there. Kato goes and calls GG. Yeah, Hod just a little too strong there. His economy just absolutely rolling at the end there. So that is Hod taking that 2 to 1. That was a pretty good series. Kato just not quite up to the task there, but it is what it is, and I will see you all next time.
Battle control terminated.